So there's this interesting TikTok lady, and she goes viral by saying that she hates this dating app Hinge. Now, I've personally never heard about it, but it was interesting. Viral video lady that hates a dating app. Like, what happened there? And apparently, what happened there is that she was asked to start deleting conversations that she chose to match with, but never responded. And we're going to go into that in a little bit, why that's an amazing idea. But she just didn't like it. And like, what do you mean? I can't have all these men as trophies on my dating app? Like, no. So she deletes the app, and then a couple of posts later, she reinstalls it and actually explains what the issue is with dating apps in general. The reason she reinstalls it is because she is bored. Right. So you're in the world of dating. Like people are there to date, not for them to entertain you. But you get to understand, how the dating market is like. There are people that are desperately to find a significant other because it's incredibly depressing to go through life alone. Like, it's not even about sex. It's just like wanting companionship. And then there are other people that are profiteering off of this. And they're like, oh, well, I just want some entertainment. Like, I'm not serious about this. I'm not even interested in it. I just don't want to be bored. So dating apps notice that this is a problem. I'm pretty sure that most of the money, most of the revenue that comes from dating apps is from men. Because believe it or not, they do need to fund the server, and they do need to pay for the staff and the Trust and Safety Council and all of that. Right? It costs money. So they need to take the money from somewhere, and they take it from the men that use the dating apps. And it's usually something around like $20, maybe $30. I have seen dating apps that give like a super premium package, and it's like $500 a month, and you may wonder, like, why would anyone want to pay that? And it's like, well, to show that they have wealth, right? It's a dating app. Like, you want to show those ladies, look how rich I am. I'm willing to spend $500 on this. Too bad they don't know that the ladies out there to actually date, at least not all of them, and some of them are just there in order to have fun. And the dating app companies realize that, well, this is not sustainable. Like, if men catch on, if they realize that women are not there to actually date, they're not going to pay the money. Right? Like, you're not paying money to be someone else's clown. You're not paying money to be someone else's buffoon. And that's a problem, right? Now, I have seen some statistics which actually shows, like, the number of dates that come from dating apps. It's somewhere in the single digits. And again, this is due to the fact that, yeah, like, there are many women that apparently, like, they hit the match, but then they're not interested in talking with the guy. And they just hold it like a little trophy, like a little achievement, like an ego boost. It's like, look how many men I matched with. And this company, Hinge, is trying to put a stop to this. Now, they're coming up with the code because you can't be honest, especially, like, not in modern day America. You can't actually say what the reason is, like, why you're doing this. It's like, hey, ladies, it's like, because if you actually say that, like, the PR would be disastrous, right? Like, you'd get a PR nightmare. So they're basically saying, oh, it's to avoid burnout. And basically, they're saying that the researchers at Hinge says that 44% of daters cite lack of responsiveness as a top dating challenge. So in other words, like, you get all these men, and they're happy that they matched up with someone, right? You get like that adrenaline rush. It's like, oh, well, like, finally, someone on earth likes me. And then they just don't want to engage. They don't want to talk. And it's like, well, imagine, like, if you are applying for jobs and you get the same thing. Like, the jobs are interested in seeing you at the interview, but when you go there, there's no one. It's very emotionally crippling. I mean, can you try to empathize with the other person for a little bit? Imagine if you had, like, a dating app for, like, women that are extremely ugly. We're talking morbidly obese, 55-year-olds, and they just want a significant other. Like, they're not even interested in sex. They just want some companionship. And you have, like, these groups of men that are, like, 10 out of 10 husbandos, and they're just on the dating app to have fun. Like, they're not actually interested in providing what the service is for. They're not actually there in order to try to participate in the event. They're just there in order to, quote-unquote, have fun. I mean, there's other social media websites where you can have this. Japan is doing the same, by the way. Like, I think I covered it either on this channel or on my secondary channel, but the Japanese government is thinking of sponsoring a government-based dating app, and they're interested in marriage. So like if you use the app and you get married, you get like tax cuts and stuff, but like you also need to prove that you're serious about it. Like you can't just go there in order to quote unquote have fun. And the problem is like the year we're in, right? Like it's really different dating today than how our parents did it, and it's very different than how our great grandparents did it, right? Like times are changing, and it does seem that yeah, like most of the ways you can date now is through dating apps, and you're the slave of the algorithm. When you look at the percentages, it's really disheartening. It seems that the top 5% of the men are the ones that most women go for. Kind of sets an unrealistic representation. You know, like I grew up in the era of feminism and they told us it's like, oh, comic books set an unrealistic representation. Yeah, but like if you go for like the top 5% of the men, you know, like the men don't go for the top 5% of the women because men at least have this thing called common sense and they're like, well, yeah, but like she's way out of my league. But like you got all of these ladies that are hooking up for the top 5% of men on dating apps, and you know, I mean, it creates this environment where they're not having fun either. Because obviously, like, the top 5% of the men, the only way they can satisfy so many women is if they go around and start cheating. If they go, and probably this is what happens, right? And this is why women are so upset. It's like, well, they actually want a relationship with that guy, but that guy has so many women contacting him that the moment the relationship goes a little bit astray or that he doesn't like anything, oh, well, it's fine because he's got like 20 other women that want to date him. So, like, they're not happy either. And I mean, it's the way technology worked, I guess, you know, but you also have like commercials like Gillette, which suggest that if you try to hit on a lady on the street, you know, like you see a lady in a bus stop and you're like, how are you doing? Well, that's sexual harassment. If you try to do it at the workplace, well, that's sexual harassment. So where you can do it? Well, on dating apps. And on dating apps, you have like this behavior. And again, like this company is trying to at least fix it by forcing people to talk with their matches before making new ones. So, like, if you made 8 matches and you want to go for the 9th, like, that's okay, but you have to delete some of the previous ones. And, you know, you place the lady in a peculiar position. It's like, what if she likes all the men that she matched with, but she doesn't want to talk with them? Like, she likes them like little trophies to display. And it's like, well, you gotta make a choice. Gotta make a choice. I don't know if this system is going to work. I personally don't even have a solution for this. Like, I think like in small towns and small villages, this isn't really a problem. It's more like a big city type of thing. And I don't know what the solution to this is, but it does cause a lot of depression in a lot of people, men and women. It's not like a man thing. It's a woman thing as well. Because like women want stability too. But if they're going to use dating apps as entertainment, and if they're going to like just jump from one chat to another, they're not going to get that fulfillment either. I guess like the only people getting the fulfillment is Chad, right? Like Chad that, but even him, I think. Even him, like, there's something dehumanizing when you jump from woman to woman and you become a womanizer. Anyway, that's my take on it. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.